Hello everyone and welcome to the Behind the Self Films for Mark Story.
It's crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 does.
First, let's talk about gear. I used a Sony A77 SLR along with my 50mm prime lens. I lit my scene using a diffused floodlight, 2 can lights, one for back and fill, and Christmas lights for the background. I also used the Rode VidMic along with my Zoom H1 to record audio. Obviously my equipment isn't top of the line, however, as I heard many times before, it's not the camera or even the gear, but it's the talent behind it. Some of the challenges I faced during the making of this documentary was finding locations, what should I ask during the interview, and finding the story during the editing process. For the interview, I got permission to shoot at a local teen hangout. However, for the B-roll, it was more of a hit or miss. I shot in several different locations, but a lot of it didn't get the privilege of making it on the screen. It wasn't until several weeks later after the interview that I got the footage of Mark in the local town square. A lot of this was due to it being my first documentary, and I was trying to experiment with what I liked and what I didn't. While in the pre-production phase, I found it very important to write out your questions. I began writing these out in a very informal 3-act outline: setup, confrontation, and resolution. Now, one of the most time-consuming things was the editing and finding the story. I had to take an hour and a half worth of footage and condense it down to 20 minutes, and it was even harder condensing that 20 minutes into 3 minutes. I had to make difficult decisions with what I liked and what didn't help push the story along. Finally, I'd like to give you a brief list of personal improvements and suggestions. First, have a backup mic. Whether that's your phone or a $30 mic from Amazon, I didn't realize how important it was until I shot the film with Mark. Whenever Mark moved, he couldn't be heard, thus making the footage unusable. I decided to fix this for my next upcoming documentary by purchasing a Smartlav Plus to help me get a crisp audio recording. Secondly, room tone. All you need to do is record 1 minute of silence in your shooting location and it will make your life a lot easier when editing clips together. Thirdly, setting your tone. It's really important knowing the tone of your film before you go on location to shoot. I wish I would have kept this in mind whenever I was shooting my past short films because it would have made my life a lot easier in the long run. Well, that wraps this BTS up for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you'd enjoyed it. If you haven't seen it yet, here's the full 20-minute documentary. If you liked it, please subscribe.